VoxWave now features a streaming radio media player on our website's front page, where local artists can get their music played 24/7. For more information on getting your music in rotation or to perform live at our studio, contact Reg Gaskins at 240-832-4455.
Android users, the VoxWave app is now available in the Google Play Store. Download the app today on your Android device to listen in and view programs.
Business owners, looking for a place to advertise your business and promote your products and services? VoxWave is the right place. We have over 10,000 views a day and 70,000 listeners a month. For more information, contact Reg Gaskins at 240-832-4455.
The world's #1 streaming music station, VoxWave.com.
We have your favorite shows on VoxWave.com. Check out our lineup. The Kim Show, Mondays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. In the End We Win with Curtis, Mondays, 8:15 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. Cooking with Flavors with your host, Chef Flavors, Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Slick Daddy Rick, Heartbeat Congo Hour, Tuesday, 8 to 10 p.m. Impact the World Radio TV Show with Cheryl Woods, Wednesday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. The Digital Digest with your host, Digital Ace, Wednesdays, 3 to 5 p.m. Live Set Wednesdays with your host, Frank Dent, Wednesdays, 8 to 9 p.m. The BGKH Show with your hosts, Dominion and Epic, Wednesdays, 9:15 to 10:15 p.m. You, Math, and Me with George Randall, Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Then, on Thursdays at 5:30 p.m., The Prayer, Praise, and Deliverance with Elder Thurman Gorman Jr., The 640 Evening Show, Thursdays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. The Peace in the Morning Show with your host, Darius A. Stanton, co-host, Delicate Daryl Barnes, and Queen Ayakidobi, Fridays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Hall Street Journal with your host, Robert Hall, and co-host Clarence Sanders, Fridays, 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Frank, The Success Principles, Friday, 12 noon to 1 p.m. Chanel's 3 Cents, Friday, 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. The Daryl Allen Harrison II Crime Victims Foundation Show, hosted by Daryl Harrison II, every Friday from 3 to 4:30 p.m. The Rush Hour with DJ Drew and Janique, every Friday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Different Minds Show, hosted by DJ Bam 640 and DJ Andre Michael, and your co-host, MC Fran, every Friday, 9:15 p.m. to 11:15 p.m. The Healer Blues Show, with host Ron Jackson, every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Hour of Power, with your host, Reverend Winters Rogers, every Saturday, 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And again, the Prayer, Praise, and Deliverance with Elder Thurman Gorman Jr., Saturday, 11 p.m. to 12 p.m. And don't forget Four Sisters Live Talk, Saturday at 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. Turning dreams into reality talk show with your host, Tashika L. Green, every second Saturday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Walk in Newness 24/7 with Missionary Antoinette, Saturdays, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. News, ULN, news and analysis, information, sports, and Black history with your news anchor, Roderick Carter Willis, 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Step your game up with the Youth Project, hosted by DJ Main and DJ Low Hefe, Saturday, 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. And don't miss The To Go Show with Kim Brown, Saturdays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. I am Dr. Sharon Show, each Sunday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., featuring The Grind, Entrepreneur Network Spotlight, and Write the Book Now. The Riri Williams Show, Fashion and Style Hour, every first Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m. Real Talk 101, Sundays 6 to 8 p.m. And every third Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m., the Third Sunday Tea Talk Show with Dr. Akita Pearson. Gospel Live TV Show with host Gloria Mello, each Sunday from 8:15 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. Listen to all your favorite shows on VoxWave.com.
VoxWave.com. VoxWave.com, streaming your favorite jazz, blues, and R&B 24/7.
Welcome to the I Am Dr. Sharon Show, featuring educators, authors, and entrepreneurs. You can join us live every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please follow Dr. Sharon across all social media platforms at I Am Dr. Sharon. And now your host, Dr. Sharon H. Porter.
Happy amazing Sunday morning, everyone. I am Dr. Sharon H. Porter, host of the I Am Dr. Sharon Show. I am so glad that you've joined us today. We have another dynamic show for you today. And as I always say, I know you hear me say that every Sunday, but I cannot help it. I tell you, the guests today are absolutely dynamic. Before we get into that, though, you know I have to give a shout out to our wonderful sponsors. We have James Adele Custom Clothier, where you will find extravagant fabrics and custom tailoring, all at an affordable price. You can find him at James Adele CC on Facebook and Instagram. Also, Shantae Conyers, she is the author of Being Pretty is Hard Work. This book is available right now on Amazon, and she will be an upcoming call-in guest within the next few weeks, so you definitely want to stay tuned for that. Also, Amped Hair and Makeup. Definitely, please find them on Instagram and Facebook, along with Sharp Image Hair Studio from Latrice, by Latrice. She is an awesome hairstylist. She is located in Waldorf, Maryland. And finally, Founders. This is a group of local business owners who meet monthly over dinner. Their goal is to provide resources and support to their members, all while fostering an environment for success. They currently have 2 chapters in Northern Virginia and are expanding to Maryland and D.C. If you are interested in joining this awesome entrepreneur networking group, please contact Stephanie DeBerry at stephanie.dberry, and that's DEBRRY at exprealty.com. So today, our guests, we're going to start off with Principal Eric Roberts. And I tell you, he is the principal currently of Imagine Foundation Public School at, why did I draw a blank? I don't know why I drew a blank. I guess talking so much. But I tell you, he started out as a middle school math teacher, really. He served as a professional school counselor, as well as test coordinator and central office leader. And as I said, he's currently the principal at Imagine Lincoln Public Charter School. He's a graduate of Florida A&M University. Proud graduates from Florida A&M, the University of Dayton, the University of Cincinnati, and Bowie State University. And he is currently in a doctoral program at Morgan State University. Principal Roberts, welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Porter.
I am so excited to have you. You have so much going on. You are in your first year as a principal.
Yes.
And I know in fact, you're doing a phenomenal job. Please talk to us a little bit about your first year.
Well, good morning, Dr. Porter. Thank you so much for having me, and good morning to our guests as well. I'm Principal Eric Roberts at Imagine Lincoln Public Charter School, where great scholars accomplish great things. We are located in Temple Hills, Maryland. And yeah, it has just been a blur. But I am the principal, the proud principal, to over 480 scholars, about 25 teachers, and a wonderful community, part of the Imagine Charter School Network, and just really been a phenomenal year so far. I am just in love with that place. It's a lot of fun. A lot of hard work. I don't get much sleep these days.
I'm sure.
But it's been a ball. We're on the rise, and we have a lot of great things going on.
That's awesome. And you are really here today to talk about this wonderful fundraiser. You all are planning a 5K.
Yes, we are.
Please tell us about this.
So the school has been in existence for a little bit over 10 years. This is our 11th school year. And so one of the things that I had been thinking about is ways that we could be well in our community. I think we kind of master the social piece, and we master eating and those types of things. But I wanted to do something that would help us focus on wellness. And so I came up with the idea of having a 5K. So we're going to be at National Harbor on Saturday, May 5th from 8 to 12. The walk will start at 9:20. The run will start at 9:15. And it's just a great way for the community to come together. You know, we have a great physical education program at Imagine Lincoln, and so this is kind of an offshoot of that. But just a way for us to come together, celebrate the fact that we've been a school for a little bit over 10 years, to kind of help brand ourselves, establish ourselves in the community, and let people know we're here, we're doing great things. I mean, we're going to come together and do something great in the community and
that
be
is
healthy
awesome.
as well.
So with the 5K, and it's at the harbor, so so are you all just walking around the harbor? Are you going across the bridge? Like, what's the trail?
Yeah, so it's okay. So it's actually the Woodrow Wilson Trail, and I want to thank the Parks and Planning Commission for helping us with that. So we'll start at the harbor. I think that's kind of that McCormick and Schmicks area.
Yes.
And so we'll walk and run and jog and whatever. I told people the only people we're competing with are ourselves. But we will go up, and I think the turnaround point is halfway across the Woodrow Wilson Bridge. So phenomenal vistas of the Potomac region, Capital Region. It's great, the Capitol Wheel and everything. So it's nice.
That is awesome. So can groups also participate?
Yes. So as Dr. Porter mentioned, it is a fundraiser, but the main focus is wellness. So we would love to have groups, and we will have the registration information published. But we wanted to have it cost effective so that it will allow scholars and families and the community to participate as well. So we would love groups. We would love challenges. Our teachers are putting together some challenges against some competing schools, so that's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, we'll definitely have the opportunity for groups to participate. So for our scholars, it'll be $5, and then for other members of the community who are under 18, it'll be $10, and then for adults, it'll be $15. And then awesome. So definitely cost effective. You will get a T-shirt if you register by April 30th because we need to meet that deadline. But yeah, so as you see, not an expensive way, but definitely a way that allows us to recoup the funds that it's costing and come together and really promote wellness.
That is awesome. So are you all accepting sponsors?
We definitely are, and we would love and appreciate our sponsors. So Dr. Porter did mention that this is a fundraiser, and so a couple of needs we do have are technology. We are trying to upgrade our computers. We've not had a computer refresh in about 5 years. So that's one of the things we're doing. And then also, we estimate that if everyone actually filled out the free and reduced lunch form that was eligible, we would probably be eligible for some government assistance. And unfortunately, that's a growth area for us. So I said that to say, sometimes some of our scholars can't always afford our field trips. Right. So that's where the other money is going to go. So definitely we need support with that, and our sponsors are going to help with that process. So yes, definitely we're going to give the website information, and you can contact the school, but we would love and welcome all sponsors. And of course, we will make sure that you're recognized for that because we definitely appreciate your support.
That is really awesome. So how did this thought of the 5K actually, how was that birthed? I'm a man of faith. So, I just believe in purpose-driven work. And so I was thinking about ways that we could come together and celebrate. And I knew that we needed to do something healthy. I actually need to. We all do.
Do a few things. So, so this was just a great idea. In the fall, we'll probably have an official 10-year or maybe 11-year celebration where we have an actual program and showcase our scholars. But this was just a fun way for everybody to come together.
Okay, so people who want to register, people who would like to sponsor, how do they contact you to do that? Okay,
so our website is imaginelincoln.org, and it's kind of still under construction, but we do have a functional website, and so definitely there'll be a link to register on there starting tomorrow. Also, you can contact me, Eric.Roberts at imagineschools.org. That's Eric, ERIC.Roberts, ROBERTS, at imagineschools.org if you want to contact me directly. And the number to the school is 301-586-5600. Okay. So definitely you can call the school, but email is probably the best way to communicate, and then we can get you directly connected. And the link, like we said, for online registration, and you will be able to pay online.
Okay, that's awesome.
live.
So guys, you have an opportunity to participate, register for that, or if you are an organization, if you are a business owner, entrepreneur, certainly think about sponsoring this 5K because it's all for a good cause, and it's just going to be exciting. And you plan to do this annually, correct?
Yes, this is going to be an annual thing.
Okay.
Like I said, because like I said, it's overall wellness, but I just think that it's something that we really need to focus on coming together. And even though we will have about 6 weeks left in the school year, it's kind of a good way for us to kind of culminate and celebrate some of our ending efforts and achievements. So it's definitely going to be annual, and we look forward to it growing and expanding every year.
I love that. So guys, definitely reach out to Principal Roberts if you're interested in either participating or sponsoring this wonderful 5K event. Principal Roberts, I thank you so much for being a part of the show today and wish you nothing but success in everything.
Thank you so very much,
Absolutely.
Dr. Porter.
Absolutely.
Thank you. We really appreciate your support, and we look forward to seeing you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
On May 5th.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much. On the show.
Guys, stay tuned. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with Miss So Favored, the poet.
The enemy came up against your home. The enemy came up against your children. The enemy came up against your name. The enemy came up against your character. You will win. You will win. The enemy came up against your health. The enemy came up against your finances. Came up against your vision. The enemy came up against your business. You will win. Yes, you will. Oh, you will. I want to let you know today that you will win. Hey, yeah.
And we are back with my next guest, Miss So Favored, the poet. She is a graduate of Howard University School of Divinity. She serves as a teacher in the District of Columbia. She's the leader of Victory Grace Center's prison ministry, where she is also the transition specialist at the Cheltenham Youth Detention Center in Prince George's County, Maryland. Miss So Favored, the poet, welcome to the show.
How are you, Dr.
Oh, my
Porter?
goodness. I am awesome. I am just so excited to have you here today.
Thank you so much.
So tell us about this poetry, because you actually started writing at about age 5.
Yeah, so I started writing at age 5, but I didn't start actually performing until I got to Howard University.
Okay.
So it was a pretty long gap, and I think naturally because I'm more reserved and shy, and when I'm on stage doing poetry is when I kind of get to let myself be shown.
Wow. So how did you know you had this gift?
My dad is actually one who encourages me, and he's always like my biggest supporter, but I actually would write poems for him for like Father's Day or his birthday. He kept telling me, kid, you have to get out there and just do your poetry, use it for something meaningful. It really could reach a generation and population that others may be missing, and so that's kind of how it cultivated from
Wow. And so tell me about this transition specialist, because the Cheltenham, and if you are native to our school, our county, you are very familiar with Cheltenham. And so these are troubled youth who've had trouble in the past. And so you serve as a transition specialist there. Please tell us a little more about your work there.
Yeah, so it's actually my heart. I love working with the youth there. So I used to work at Cheltenham as a teacher, a special educator. And while I was working there, I started a GED program and would try to get young boys able to get jobs, get high school diplomas. And unfortunately, just because of the way the state is set up. When boys would get their GEDs or high school diplomas, then they would have no college courses offered. So it was almost like bumping heads and fighting against the force. So I told them, maybe I'll step back from the position of teaching so it's not a bumping head, but I will come back and do this transition specialist so that I can then begin to reach out to outside forces, because as you're working there, you're kind of locked into, you know, the regulations of the state. But as I stepped back, I've seen how much support I had, and people were right alongside. So we've been able to help about 20 boys so far get GEDs. A few went off to college, a few went off to get trades, and it's just wonderful to see them in the community being productive citizens like we know they could if somebody just pours into them.
Absolutely. And so the Victory Grace, your Victory Grace family have been so very supportive. Shout out to Dr. Mary Huntley. So supportive. So you lead their prison ministry.
Yes, ma'am.
Talk about that.
Yeah, so it was one that Dr. Jasmine Skerlock, who is our pastor, was like, you know, a church needs to have two things, a Bible and a newspaper. You need to be relevant. So I told her, you know, I work with youth in the prison ministry. And so she said, start it for the church. Mission work is not just inside the church or overseas, but it can be right here in our home. And so we just went into the prisons. And if you have a desire and a passion, if you care about, you know, the black family, if you care about the family structure at all, if you care about youth, if you care about women, then prison ministry is not just about going to speak to those incarcerated, but it's also speaking and minister to their children, speaking and minister to their families. It's so much more than just behind the prison wall. So I've learned a lot and I love it.
Oh, wow. That is so exciting. So tell us about what you're going to be actually performing for us today.
So today I am actually going to be performing a poem that I started to write as I went to a seminar at the prison ministry, and it was talking about when people get released, how they become economically and financially dependent and not relying on the state or on other organizations. And I think that in our community, especially the African American community, it's so big to promote that economic freedom and empowerment. And so I just want to encourage some people today, and so that's what I'm going to share about.
That's awesome. And you also perform locally around.
I do.
So where are some of the places?
Definitely Victory Grace Center, Sundays. Bus Boys and Poets has an awesome one. A poet named Orville the Poet has an awesome one, Whitney B. Those are some local open mics where millennials can really get together and share their voice. And so I found that it's been great, and definitely a church for people who aren't in the church. You don't have to just find religion, faith, and supporting each other and uplifting each other inside the church. So if you're ever
I love that. Okay. And so where can people follow you and connect with you?
Yes, definitely. Miss So Favor, the poet, on Instagram, Facebook, and I would love to connect with you.
I love that. And you know, before you perform, we've got to talk about the name.
Oh.
Tell us how that came about.
Yeah, so Miss So Favor, the poet, is just a reminder to me. When I get on stage, sometimes people are like, wow, the poetry is awesome. And I never want to get so big-headed or full of myself that I miss that I'm only where I am because of the favor and grace of God.
Awesome.
And so it's just a reminder for myself.
I love that. All right, guys, so we're not even going to take a break. We're going to allow Miss So Favor to take her place on stage, and she's going to perform for us some of her poetry.
Go back to Africa. I could not stand the term. Matter of fact, I despise the phrase, go back to Africa. America, you're like a 16-year-old little girl who can't properly express your emotions. So instead of saying how you really feel, you come up with condescending and offensive phrases like go back to Africa. Knowing good and well that if we went back to Africa, we're taking our culture and our homeland, and you'll come chasing right back after us. So stop saying it. And black people, stop being so afraid to go back to Africa. And I don't mean in the physical sense, I mean in the psychological sense, where we're not just stuck on making cents instead of dollars. We come from a culture of royalty, yet we come to America to live impoverished. Half due to a corrupt system, the other due to lack of knowledge. So I ask a question. If economics was a rap song, would you learn it? Singing lyrics of injustice for your freedom but don't have money to even earn it? I believe that if economic was a rap song, we would see images of single black mothers as society rips apart the black family. Systematic systems that will help as long as Pops abandons me. And I dare you to make more than the specified amount impoverished and enslaved, but they call it helping out. If economics was a rap song, we would hear about affirmative action. Well, we encourage our youth to go to college, but don't teach them about debt. We encourage them to get your own, but don't show them how to pay rent. But I bet if economics was some KDs, you would invest. Rick James says money talks. Well, then why are my people silent? And Big says more money, more problems. Well, we got 99 problems and over half money will solve it. Economic empowerment equals economic literacy, creating marketable skills and creating our own industries. Black-owned, Black-ran, Black-supported businesses. Stop creating income and get wealth for your kids as kids. Thank you so much. I'm so favorite the poet.
Awesome. All right. Oh, my goodness. Woo! Woo! All right, guys, we're going to take a break. That was Miss So Favorite the Poet. You have definitely got to connect with her, but we will be right back with my next guest, Miss Essence Moore.
The enemy came up against your home. The enemy came up against your children. The enemy came up against your name. The enemy came up against your character. You will win. You will win. The enemy came up against your health. The enemy came up against your finances. The enemy came up against your vision. The enemy came up against your business. You will win. Yes, you will.
I tell you, that Miss So Favorite the Poet, woo, she shook me up a bit. But we are back with my next guest, Miss Essence Moore. Miss Moore is native to Washington, D.C. She is currently an educator in Prince George's County Public Schools. She is the founder of the Maryland Institute for Dance. She is also the creator of That's So Girly. She's a graduate of the University of Maryland, University College, and St. Thomas University. Miss Moore, welcome.
Hello, Dr. Porter. So good to be here.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to have you as well. And so I really want to talk about That's So Girly. Oh my goodness. I saw a few postings of this. I said, this is dynamic.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So That's So Girly is a girls mentoring program, ages 12 to 17, that I started last year. And we are having a conference on May 19th called It's a Girl Thing for ages 12 to 17 that is open to all girls around the area. Even if they want to come from out of town, we'll welcome them. And I started it because as an educator, I work in a middle school. I'm an English teacher. And I am finding that our girls, oh my goodness, are really going through some things. Absolutely. And they are acting out in a way that has me flabbergasted.
Absolutely.
So I didn't know that I was going to start it. I know that during the school day I do a lot of, you need to talk to her, Miss Moore, and tell her that she shouldn't be doing this. And so I did a lot of praying, and after doing a lot of praying, I realized I needed to start something.
That is awesome.
And so I've just been letting God guide me and direct me onto what I should do next.
That is awesome. And, you know, as a former middle school principal, I definitely know, and we all know for that middle school level, that is a critical area for our boys and girls. But definitely the girls. There's something about those middle school girls.
It is something about them. I don't
really
know what,
is.
but it is.
So tell me, with this focus on That's So Girly, what types of things do you, because you have something beyond the conference, right?
Oh, yes.
So
yes,
tell
yes.
us about what you do with them.
Okay, so we have 2 different levels right now of our mentoring program. So one of the levels is Passport to Shine. So if you notice, everything that we do, all of our names are extremely girly. So very pink, very sparkly, very girly. And so Passport to Shine is for that girl that needs that all the time attention, that really needs to be catered to every week. There's something typically going on, and you have to sit with them every single week to do something with them. And then we have girls that are in the Everything That Glitters Leadership Academy.
Oh, that's cute.
And Everything That Glitters, we have 14 girls in the program right now, and they meet monthly. We have outings, we do community service, and in our monthly meetings, we meet the second Saturday of the month, but in our monthly meetings, we are working on these girls from the inside. A lot of times, we create these mentoring programs, and we want to just kind of thrust them into, okay, go fill out a college application, or okay, go and do this. But we're not catering to their inner being first. So before we can put you on that leadership pedestal, we got to make sure that you're good on the inside. Mm-hmm. And so whether you're suffering with depression, whether you are lacking parents, whether you are having all of those things that have been sexually abused, anything that's going on, we need to tap into that and make sure that you're good here before then you can go and elevate and inspire someone else.
That's awesome.
And so we focus a lot on that in the Leadership Academy, and so those girls will graduate in June to our next portion of the program that will really start to showcase their leadership skills.
Oh, wow. So it's 3 levels to it.
Yes.
Okay. That is so how does a 12 to 17-year-old girl actually become a participant in the academy?
So for the Leadership Academy, you have to apply, and we go through, I look at the applications, and I do some praying over, for the girls that I especially don't know, they may not just see me on the website, do a lot of praying to see if they're ready for that particular program. Other than that, you can just register on www.that'ssogirly.org. That's our website. Of course, we're on Instagram. Girly That's So, because someone had That's So Girly, and Twitter Girly That's So as well. And so they can just go to the website or onto our social media and reach out to me. And our email is info@that'ssogirly.org.
That is awesome. And so how long is each of the programs?
So the Leadership Academy goes from September when school starts, and it goes all the way until June is when they graduate to the next portion. And so the girls that are in the Leadership Academy are partnered with a mentor. So they don't have to share mentors. They have a one-on-one mentor. So there are women who have dedicated their time, their efforts, their energy, their resources to cater to this one girl throughout the school year. And so July and August is their break. And then we start with another batch of girls, and they keep their mentors and go to the next portion.
That is awesome.
Of the program.
So how does a mentor, a possible mentor, contact you to be a part of the program?
They can email me, and then I'll have a registration for them where I look at their application, and what ends up happening is there's a girl that wants to be a lawyer or something like that, and they have some common interest, then I'm pairing them with them. So it's not somebody that they don't really have anything in common with, and they're just sitting there monthly like, who is this lady? And the mentors have been so awesome because they do so many things together. They have become a part of these ladies' family. They are always out to eat, getting nails done. They, talk to them throughout the school day when something is happening or when something is about to happen. They're holding them accountable. and it is just really amazing. So before they will go and fight, they will say, I need to talk to my mentor.
I love
and
it.
so I would rather have that. Yes, take your time. Go text your mentor if you need to before you go and make that bad decision. So
That is so
they're doing
awesome.
really, really good.
Oh,
and I'm
my
proud
goodness.
of them.
And so the 3 groups, do they meet separate of each other?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And separate days and everything?
Yes.
Okay.
So I started with the Leadership Academy. That's the one that I pushed first. So as we're going into this school year, Passport to Shine will really be making coming to fruition, because I want to make sure I get those girls that aren't necessarily ready for the leadership part, but they do need that constant, you know, you need to come sit. I have a couple of students who come sit with me, check in with me, make goals with me weekly, just to keep them on that straight and narrow path. Still allowing them to be them, but making better choices and decisions. And there have been some girls that have come to me this school year and said, I thought about you saying, you know, that I shouldn't do this and that I'm this and I'm better than that, and I didn't choose to go and fight, or I didn't choose to go and do what I wanted to do. And so that's a major key for me, because our girls, we got to do something.
Yeah, we have
different.
to do something.
We have to do
Absolutely.
something different.
I love it. And so give everyone your contact information one more time.
Okay, so our website is that'ssogirly.org. Our Facebook is That's So Girly. Our Instagram is Girly That's So, and our Twitter is Girly That's So. Awesome. And our email is info@that'ssogirly.org.
Awesome. All right, guys. So if you know or you have a girl aged 12 to 17 that could really benefit from this, reach out to Ms. Essence Moore. Or if you are someone who can mentor and really volunteer your time to help this wonderful cause, definitely reach out to Ms. Moore
and
as well.
don't forget to come to the conference.
Yes, tell them one more time about the conference.
A sister, a goddaughter. The conference is May 19th. In Upper Marlboro, Maryland, called It's a Girl Thing. You can go on Eventbrite and register. The early bird special is going on until April 17th for only $20.
That's awesome.
The speakers that are there are going to be fantabulous.
Awesome.
We have vendors. We have other activities. We're having a packing social with Goody Girl Bags, who provide feminine products for homeless shelters, women homeless shelters. So it's going to be really amazing, really impactful.
Awesome. May 19th.
May 19th at
Okay.
8 a.m.
8
A full
a.m.
day. So you
That's
just
awesome.
drop
And
her
what's
off
the
and keep
venue?
going. It's going to be at Arrowhead Elementary.
Okay,
in
awesome.
Upper
In
Marlboro,
Upper
Maryland.
Marlboro. Okay,
Yes.
there you go, guys. Arrowhead Elementary, May 19th. The That's So Girly Conference.
It's a girl
It's
thing.
a girl
Sponsored
thing.
by That's So
Sponsored by-
Girly. I know it's a lot of girls going on.
That's all. And is this the first year?
This is the first
Okay,
year,
so
yes.
come on, guys. The inaugural year for this conference, you definitely want to participate and help this wonderful organization. So thank you, Ms.
Thank
Moore.
you
I
so
appreciate
much,
it.
Dr. Porter.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Guys, thank you. And please, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with another dynamic guest, Ms. Calissa Wing.
Yes, you but the truth still
about this show today. My next guest, oh my goodness, what can I say? Miss Kalisa Wing. She is currently the assistant principal at West Point Elementary School in West Point, New York. She is the 2017 Department of Defense Education Activity Teacher, State Teacher of the Year. She's also the 2017 University of Maryland University College Outstanding Alumna of the Year. She is the 2016 ASCD Emerging Leader, and she is a Toledo, Ohio native. She created a nonprofit organization called Squad Up for Education Incorporated, and this is to empower parents, students, and educators to commit to become partners in education. She is the author of 2 books, which we're going to talk about. She is a graduate of the University College, and where else?
University of Phoenix.
University of Phoenix, and currently at my alma mater, Walden University, in a doctoral program. Miss Kalisa Wing. Ooh, we finally get to meet. I love it. How are you?
I am blessed.
Oh my goodness. I am so excited. And I have to tell everyone, I guess it was the beginning of the year. I read a blog posting that you had on your first year as an assistant principal. I coordinate my induction program for my school district's new assistant principal. I shared it with them. I had them post. They all responded to you. So this is really phenomenal that I have you here. I'm so excited. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Oh, my goodness. So you are a busy, busy, busy person.
Yes, I am.
So please tell us a little more, because I tell you, I think that DOD EA Teacher of the Year just really sparked a lot of things for you. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so being the DODEA Teacher of the Year definitely did spark a lot of things. But then I also think about being the first African-American DODEA Teacher of the Year definitely sparked some things.
Yes.
The Association of Supervision, Curriculum, and Development also sparked some things. I was an emerging leader for them before I became a State Teacher of the Year, so that definitely springboarded. And I think the reason why it did is because, we need voices for ed, but we also need voices, who believe in God,
yes.
Who believe that, we have to do what's best for students and that are positive. So I think that's where all of that, that the positive nature. So.
Absolutely. And you are actually a member of our armed services. So first of all, thank you for your service.
Thank
you. And so you went right after high school, you actually joined the Army.
I did. My mother was a single mother. I love you, Mom. She showed me what, strength and how to persevere through adversity. She put herself through college while I'm the youngest of 3. And so I watched my mother do that, but we did not have enough money for college. And so I was walking down the hallway one day and I saw a recruiter and he said, I got $19,000 for college. And I said, where do I sign up?
Wow.
So the rest is I knew I wanted to be in education. I knew I wanted to be an educator, but I did not want debt. So that was one of the best decisions that I made.
Wow.
It brought me to my husband, Donald. I love you. And I was able to follow him around in his career, and he retired from the military. I did 6 years, but I really enjoyed my time in the military, and I think a lot of what I learned in the United States Army has been able to be carried over into my classroom, and especially now as a leader. An educational leader and an instructional leader in my school.
Absolutely. And so that's one of the things that, because first of all, ed leadership is my thing. I love it. That's where my passion is. And so when I really are able to speak, and especially novice leaders, my first and second year assistant principals, and yes, and you really detailed that blog post. It really struck a chord. And all of my participants in my program, they were like, oh my God, that is so me. So tell us a little bit about the feeling behind that.
Well, it was very early. I had probably only been in my position for about 2 months, and I was really feeling defeated that day. And it so happened that the school nurse walked into my office, and she said, when you respond back to our emails, it really means a lot to us because you always respond before the end of the day. And I'm thinking, I need the teachers doing flexible grouping. I need the teachers differentiating instructions. I want to see them doing co-teaching, these big things that take a lot of time to cultivate. And she reminded me in that moment that it's the little things, and not to look down on humble beginnings, and not to think that we have to be moving all the big mountains. But sometimes all it takes is just a little small thing to make an impact on the staff. And so so that is what, you know, I came away from that thinking I need to be communicating, I need to be caring, compassionate, and I have to be the one that's kind of holding things together. And so I really enjoy writing that blog post. And sometimes I pull it back out on those tough
and read
days.
it. Absolutely. Yes. And so now you're an author of 2 books. Yes. And this is your latest one, right? Weeds and Seeds. I love it. And so tell us a little bit about Weeds and Seeds.
So Weeds and Seeds is really, it is about my life, but it also has some tidbits in it about education and ways that we can be a positive seed in a child's life. And so in first grade, my first grade teacher, Miss Lyons, she failed me. I failed the first grade. My parents were going through a really nasty divorce. But what Miss Lyons didn't know is that some nights I was doing my homework by candlelight. You know, some nights we were going to bed hungry, potatoes. We ate potatoes almost every day, but it sustained us. And so my mother was doing the best she could with what she had. But Ms. Lyons never took that time to find out what we needed. And so Ms. Lyons planted a weed. I felt like a failure. But I'm sitting here next to you today as a child who failed the first grade because I had a teacher like Ms. Holmes who planted a seed in my life, who showed me that I mattered, that I was important. And so it's really about, you know, what do you deposit in people? Do you deposit a weed or do you deposit a seed? And even those that are out there who have had those negative experiences, you don't have to be that narrative. You can choose the positive. And so that's really what the book is about. And it was very therapeutic for me, for my family. You know, it brings up some things that sometimes we don't like to talk about, especially in the Black community, but we need to talk about those things because it helps others grow through our trials and our tribulations. Through our trials become our testimony. And so that like the song you played during the break, you will win.
Absolutely.
You know? So.
Absolutely. I love it. And so are you planning some signings for Weeds and Seeds? What's coming up for this?
Well, really, you know, Weeds and Seeds has been out since January, and I kind of let the book organically do what the book does. I talk about it. It is available on Amazon, the Kindle edition, and in print. And so, you know, as people want to go out and get it, but I'm really excited about my next venture. I'm writing a book about the school-to-prison pipeline, and I am almost done, you know, with that book. That book will be finished in July, and that's such a timely conversation, something that we need to talk about. It is one of the things that is harming our children. You know, 67% of all suspensions last year were students of color.
Absolutely.
Our students are being suspended out of school 3 times more than other students. And so we need to talk about this, and we need to talk about what we need to do to fix that. And so I'm really excited about that book. I'm excited about Weeds and Seeds as well, but that was more personal.
Okay.
The book on the school-to-prison pipeline, to me, is something that all educators everywhere need, because this is a problem that we're seeing from states like California all the way up to New York.
I love it. And you actually just came from the ASCD conference, right?
I did.
So you presented, and actually one of my assistant principals participated in your session. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about what you presented.
So my presentation was on, it was called Building Bridges and tearing down walls and building bridges. And it was on dismantling the school-to-prison pipeline. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, because me and my co-presenter, Casey Betho, I said, I sure hope at least about 25 people show up. Do you know the room was standing room only?
Yes.
They were out in the hallway standing. People want to hear about how can we fix this. And so it was so impactful. We gave 5 strategies that teachers could take immediately the next day. I don't believe in sit and get professional learning. If I'm going to be presenting something, I want to make sure that I am giving you something actionable. Yes. The next time that we will be doing this presentation will be at the Conference on Teaching Excellence in Dallas.
Yes.
I'm sorry, not Dallas. I'm correcting. Yes, in Dallas. For ASCD.
Right.
And so I'm really excited. That's June 28th through the 30th. And the whole theme of that conference is Pathways to Equity. And so my pathways for this conference is underserved populations. And so, you know, we're talking about people of color, we're talking about students in special education, poverty. So I'm really excited about that because I think this is a very, very timely conversation that we must and we need to have.
Absolutely. And you work with the middle school child too, right? Are you in the middle school? No, you're at elementary.
Well, I oversee special education in both the elementary school and the middle school.
Oh,
I'm the
okay.
elementary school principal, but I am the special education administrator.
Got it.
Over both schools. So
Okay.
I am. And my background is secondary education.
Okay.
So I am middle, high school by
Okay.
nature.
Okay. So that's really awesome. And so where can people connect with you, follow you, and all that good stuff, and find out where you're going to be next?
So people can definitely connect with me on Twitter. It is Kelisa, KELISA _L to teach, like love to teach. I am also, if you type Kelisa Wing into Facebook, I have a public Facebook page that is my State Teacher of the Year page that they can follow me on. But typically Twitter is the best way to connect with me. So Kelisa _L to teach.
Awesome. I am just so grateful that we finally connected.
I am too. And it's God's plan, and I believe in covenant connections. And
absolutely.
And we are better together. And
absolutely.
We have to draw on each other's strengths.
Yes.
And so I really appreciate what you do, and I thank you for having me on
absolutely.
the show today.
And can't wait to our future collaboration.
Yes,
so.
ma'am.
Yes, so definitely please connect with her, especially if you're an educator, and definitely to find out about her upcoming book. Is it the School to Principal Pipeline? Is that the name of it?
No, it's Dismantling the School to Prison Pipeline.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. So definitely connect with Miss Wing. I appreciate you. And you definitely want to look out for what's coming next. So guys, stay tuned with us. We're going to have another dynamic guest. Dr. Akina D. Finch will be right here on the other side of the break.
The enemy came up against your finances. The enemy came up against your vision. Came up against your business. You will win. Yes, you will. Oh, you will. I wanna let you know today that you will win. Hey, yeah. I know you're hurt. I know you're torn. I know you're broken, but you will win. All of those may be fair, but the truth still remains that in the name of Jesus, you will win. So lay your hands on yourself and say this: it's my winning season. It's my winning season. It's my winning season. Let me hear you declare it tonight. Say, it's my winning season. It's my winning season. It's my winning season. For now, this is what you gotta declare. Everything attached to me wins. Everybody sing it. Everything attached to me wins. Everything attached to me wins. Everything attached to me wins. Hey, hey, oh, you will win. This is what we declare. You will win.
Welcome back, guys. I am here with the lovely Dr. Akina D. Finch. She is a podcaster, a social media coach. She's a Forbes Coach Council member, owner of Finch and Associates LLC, owner of Changing Minds Online, and she's an educator, she's an author, she's a graduate of Colorado Technical University, Strayer University, and Tennessee State University. Dr. Finch, woo! So excited that you're here. Yes. You are so awesome. I love you. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
Oh, my goodness.
Anytime I'm in the area, I would
Yes,
love to come and
absolutely.
join you. This is awesome.
And
Thank
so
you
you
much.
are in Nashville, Tennessee.
I am in Nashville, Tennessee. Yes.
Okay, awesome. And you know, you do a lot of things, but I tell you, hands down, social media is your thing. And that is something that all entrepreneurs need. And you are so willing to give your knowledge anytime. It's so awesome. And so I can only imagine how your clients feel. So tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, as a social media coach and I also do events and things. Basically, I want to show people how to use social media to get their messages out. A lot of people are just posting willy-nilly and posting out whatever, but there is a way that you can post and actually make a serious impact on the world, whether it be your business, whether it be your cause, whether it be education, which we're all talking about today. I'm, of course, an educator at heart first and foremost. So being able to put that out there in a way that they know that they make a difference, and they can make a difference for, as I say, free 99, we need to definitely make that happen.
That is awesome. And so really, I mean, your knowledge that you help with so many people, no, seriously, it's just so awesome. Tell us what the importance of really branding yourself on social media is about.
Oh, I mean, my goodness, you know, you do all of these things and you want to help the world. Because, I mean, basically the whole point of having a business is to supply a need. And if you don't brand yourself on social media, then you have a whole bunch of supply and no demand. See, social media helps you with the demand piece. You know, there's somebody out there waiting for your gifts, but if they don't know you're there, you're sitting there with a whole bunch of supply. And they're sitting out there with a whole bunch of demand and no supply. So if we bring the social media together and put ourselves out there and let people know what we're really doing, then we can bring the demand and the supply together. You know?
That's awesome. And so is there one social media platform that's better over another, or is it really just what's your preference?
It's more of where your audience is, truth be completely told. Now, if you are a business person, then, you know, most of my business people are on LinkedIn. If you plan on having any type of business, trying to do any B2B, you need to be on LinkedIn because that's where the money's at, right? Then if you are someone who has a lot of social causes, a lot of social people are on Facebook. They're also on Twitter because Twitter does a lot of right now type of posting. So a lot of people who are doing customer service and things like that, airlines, things like that, they go to Twitter to get their feedback because it's instant right there, right now on time. I mean, I've actually made a couple of posts on Twitter to the airlines and got my problems fixed in 5 minutes versus sitting up there trying to write a scroll, as my friend would say, to try to get my money back, you know.
Exactly.
And then, of course, you know, the Instagrams, you know, if you are a visual person, if you're a visual brand, if you are a cooker, if you are an educator, you know, you can show these pictures because pictures are worth 1,000 words. And you need to let these people tug on these heartstrings, so to speak, and let the people know that there's a need, there's a cause, and there's something that they can contribute to make their lives better.
So talk to me a little bit about Periscope, because that's still the one thing that people are kind of hesitant, but that's where you thrived on Periscope.
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about Periscope.
Periscope is very interesting. It is where I really 10x'd. I had a following before I started social media in 2008, and I had a following on the Facebooks, the Twitters, the Instagrams, But once I got on Periscope, it was a way for people to know, like, and trust me in a major way. They were able to feel me as a person. They were able to feel who I was. They were able to make a connection. And then kind of like you and I, you know, we got to know each other online first before we met in public.
Absolutely.
And that is a way that you can really put your message out, especially if you are a heart-centered individual or a servant leader as myself. So Periscope is a way that you can put the message out. Now, there are things that are deterring, like the trolls and things of that nature, and the freezings and all of that. But, you know, you have to get past that because your message is bigger than all of those deterrents and all those blockers. So you just go ahead and you put your message out there. They can always catch the replay and get it in full and live effect. So, but then, of course, Periscope now has competition with Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Instagram Live, you know. And so if you are comfortable in another arena, that's okay. But the point is that you're getting your message out to the people who need it, who are waiting for your supply.
Wow. And so the services that you provide, mainly for entrepreneurs, I would assume, so you really help them with that whole social media game. That's what you do. So take us just through, like, for a beginner or an emerging entrepreneur just started, doesn't have much traffic on social media, what would be the steps for them to for you to service them?
Okay, well, first off, I would look at what they have. Make sure that their message is consistent across the board. There is a certain speak for each platform, and I want to make sure that they're saying what they want to say in the speak of the platform. That's first off a deterrent. If you're not speaking the way that that platform speaks, then you are not getting the traffic that you need to get. Prime example, if you're not using your hashtags on Instagram, if you're using too many hashtags on Twitter, if you are not writing, more information on a LinkedIn post, so you need to know the type of speak. Then I need to make sure that your message is consistent. If you're talking about cats on one, dogs on the other, pizza on another, that is not consistent. That's not a brand, not what a brand makes. We would home in your content. And then we would also make sure that your graphics are on point. Make sure that you are branding in your branding colors. Make sure that you're branding with your pictures, things of that nature. Make sure you have a consistent look, because basically the whole point of it is that I want people to see you the way they see McDonald's, the gold arches on the red background with the white letters on the black pole. Even a 3-year-old knows what that is, right?
Absolutely.
So we want people to know your brand in the exact same light. And so even if they're just scrolling through and see your face, they know, oh, that's Dr. Sharon. That's Dr. Sharon on LinkedIn. That's Dr. Sharon on Facebook. That's Dr. Sharon on Twitter. So then once we put all of that together, then we would start doing different campaigns according to editorial calendar. A lot of people like it where it's just 1 hour where they can post all their stuff in one whop, use a Hootsuite or whatever, and just put it out throughout the week. Or some people are right now posters who are doing great things all the time. And so you would decide what's the best way for you to post, and then we would go from there.
Wow, that's awesome. So how can people connect with you if they are in need of your services?
Well, you can always connect with me in everything DRAD Finch. That's also a consistency point. Don't have your people trying to look for you everywhere. Everybody can find me on DRAD Finch. You can also find me at IKinaFinch.com, and that's AIKYNAFINCH.com.
That's awesome. And we did not talk about it, but you have a social media conference, right?
Yes,
Please
I
tell us
do.
about that real quick.
Yes, it is on September 14th and 15th in Nashville, Tennessee. So if you've never been to Nashville, perfect time to come.
Yes.
And it's a 2-day conference, and we're going to be talking about the how, the why, and the business of social media.
I love it.
Our keynote speaker is Amber Aziza. She is from this area.
Yes.
And you will be amazed at all the things you're getting ready to learn.
Awesome. That is awesome. I tell you. So definitely connect with Dr. Finch. If you need your social media game on point, contact Dr. Finch. So guys, we're going to go right on over to Miss So Favorite the Poet. She's going to close out with another one of her amazing poems.
So education for me became real the first time a 16-year-old child came into my classroom and said, "Miss Watkins, why do you pour so much into us? We're just a lost generation." So I wrote a letter to my students, and it went, "Dear lost generation, I wish that you can see the psychological confinements that society so easily placed you in. I wish you can see your life scratch out your name because they so easily place a dollar at the end. You see, Black lives matter, but only when the Black lives that matter stand up and say, matter of fact, my life is worth more than just some currency. If God created purpose in my life, then obviously he created purpose in me. Stop making the system rich while our people are steady dying. You said you hustling and eating, get you enslaved and hungry, but buying into a perpetuated system that never wanted to educate you. So I'll hide your truth, put you in community with cool liquor stores and underfunded schools, and like Alpha Phi destroyed this generation. Incarceration is our dues. That's why, as an educator, I can tell you that investing in our future means investing in our youth. And if you think that investing is too much, think back to when you were young and if somebody would have invested into you. See, I'm a product of generosity. I had teachers and community partners pour into me and say, now go out and be a prodigy. Go out there and farm a seed. Because if we don't build communities, they'll build warehouses to house our seeds. Because the idle times create idle minds that get to wondering. A library can have them thinking Howard or outer space instead of the streets they could be wandering. So dear lost generation, if a lifetime of education and servicehood could produce that, then consider this my pledge, because it's an honor for me to give back. Sincerely, a former product of generosity.
Ooh, awesome, 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 awesome. Ooh, I tell you, what a show today. And before we close, I have to give a shout out to my line sisters, the Gamma Phi chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. We will be celebrating 28 years on Tuesday, April 10th. I love each of you, and thank you so much for being who you are. This has been another wonderful show, the I Am Dr. Sharon Show. You can catch us right here, VoxWave.com, every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as always, the bigger the dream, the harder the grind. Push, pray, and continue to grind.